As we just heard from KJ, he got a first-hand taste of just how precious and important water is for communities worldwide. And it's really something that we shouldn't take for granted. Interestingly enough, it stemmed from his passion of education. That's what led to this initiative. And he told me the entire story this off-season. Take a listen. It's a rainy afternoon at the Newcastle Library. Seahawks veteran linebacker KJ Wright flips through some pictures on his phone.
We went to a boarding school. And they live on campus.
He can't help but smile, reliving a trip he made a couple months back. It was one he's dreamed about since he was a kid.
Growing up, I had a certain perspective of Africa. Only one thing was showed to me. I just wanted to go out there and see it for myself.
So KJ, his teammates Byron Maxwell and Mike Morgan, and former Seahawk Malcolm Smith traveled to Kenya and Tanzania.
They have nice tall buildings just like Seattle does. They have cars, busy cities, and beautiful beaches.
But what made the trip so meaningful was a visit to a school in the middle of Kenya's Masai Mara region.
My travel agent, she suggested that we take books to the kids because the school was 600 kids and only had 10 books. And
Really?
Yeah, and so we just had to find a way to help educate those kids. And so what we did was we had a book drop.
Thanks to public donations, several trips to the Goodwill, and the Seahawks' help, a package was sent nearly 10,000 miles around the world, arriving just in time for the players' visit.
When those kids got it, they all presented it to us, presented the books, the footballs, the soccer balls, and they had they pretty much had a pep rally for us.
KJ, I wish you my
And it was just amazing when I would just have conversations with them. When they asked me where I'm from, I drew a map as best as I could, and I drew up Seattle, and I drew up Mississippi.
You guys love school?
She knows English.
Yes, I love school too.
I met some girls, they want to be lawyers. Some kids want to be pilots when they grow up, and so they definitely have aspirations.
We all we got!
What did it feel like to know that you are contributing to their education and helping them live the lives they can to fulfill those dreams?
I believe that I'm in the position to where it's my job and my duty. Because I had some people ask me, we have people in our own community, why don't you just help them? I believe that wherever you go, anyone you help, whatever you desire to do, that's what you should go do. However, to help someone understand the English language, which is kind of like the universal language, that's really special.
KJ got the idea of combining tackles for donations from the great work that Cliff Averill was able to do while he was playing with the Seahawks. As you remember, for every sack that he got, he built one corresponding house in his native country of Haiti. And KJ was a part of those efforts as well. He actually traveled with Cliff and a group of players to help build a school this past offseason, just weeks after he got back from Africa. So an amazing, beneficial off-season for KJ Wright. Great to see him doing so much good in the world, and we wish him nothing best with his initiatives moving forward.
What an incredible experience for the Seagulls here in Hong Kong. This is the 4th time that the team has had the privilege of being able to perform in the Chinese New Year parade. As you can see, we are along the 1.5-mile parade route here in downtown Hong Kong. The streets are lined with over 100,000 people watching the parade, cheering on the Seagulls, and ringing in the Year of the Dog. Now, the Seagulls are one of 3 American groups amongst the 34 performers in today's parade, celebrating the Chinese New Year. We have been with the Seagulls since they arrived in Hong Kong, and once we get back to the States, we will be giving you an inside look that you can't get anywhere else, only on Q13 Fox, your home of the Seahawks. So for now, from Hong Kong, I'm Michelle Ludtka. Kung Hei Fat Choi, Happy New Year. I'll send it back to you guys.
2016 was really the last time we saw a healthy Jordan Morris. He was such a key part of that MLS Cup winning squad. Morris with 2 goals in the Western Conference Finals against the Colorado Rapids, projecting his team into the MLS Cup Finals for the first time in club history. We all know how that turned out. It was such a wonderful thing, and we hope that he can be a part of it again in the future. But it's been nearly 7 months since Jordan Morris tore his ACL, having to undergo surgery, essentially sidelining him for the year. But he is on the mend, and he has let our crews go along with him to document his road to recovery in an exclusive 4-part series. So let's listen in on part 1. Welcome to Arlington, you guys. Gotta love the good old Texas hospitality. We're here on the red carpet, as you can see right over my shoulder. Shaquem Griffin is being interviewed, making his way down the red carpet. He, of course, is the brother of Shaq Griffin, who plays for the Seahawks. The red carpet festivities got started about a half an hour ago, and it's been fun watching players and coaches trickle in to the NFL draft that will take place in this stadium. It's the first time in 83 years that an NFL stadium has hosted an NFL draft, and Dallas has done it upright. Beyond this red carpet area behind me is a whole NFL draft experience, and over 300,000 fans are expected to make their way through it over the next 3 days. Of course, we've seen a lot of Cowboys fans, but I have seen some 12s. I've even gotten a couple of Seahawks, you know, gotta love that chant, always fun to see. But really, we're here welcoming players in before they go inside to hopefully hear their name get called tonight, and if not tonight, obviously tomorrow. We're hoping to catch up with Washington head coach Chris Peterson, as well as Washington's Vita Vea, and I'm trying to grab Shaquem himself, see if his brother gave him any advice for kind of handling this whole draft thing, because obviously he's a pro. He was drafted last year in the 3rd round by the Seahawks. So exciting times in Arlington. Happy to be here and happy to bring all of our viewers along for the ride. They are so ready to have this game be played. If you think about it, the Huskies have not played in a football game for over a month now, so they have had weeks to prepare for their first ever postseason meeting against the Ohio State Buckeyes. And it all goes down tomorrow at 2 o'clock in this beautiful stadium that you see right behind me. Earlier today was the final obligation for both the Washington and the Ohio State football programs, leading up to the 105th Rose Bowl. Head coaches Chris Peterson and Urban Meyer were part of a joint press conference in front of 100+ media members. The two coaches spoke candidly on their friendship and admiration for each other, Meyer sharing that he even traveled to visit Peterson while he was at Boise State. He went on that his wife has even teased him, saying, "Why can't you be as creative as Chris?" when referencing his famous trickery with the Broncos in the 2006 Fiesta Bowl. After hearing that, the two were hit with a hard question to answer.
Is there a way to prepare for what he might bring? And Coach Pete, do you have a couple of those ready?
No. I'll let Chris answer first. I want to hear that.
No, we don't.
No?
That's all I got.
In all joking aside, Peterson says he's been impressed with how his team has approached this bowl game preparations. I spoke yesterday with quarterback Jake Browning, and he says this year there was a much bigger emphasis on improving over the course of these last couple of weeks than there has been in the recent years in the past. The Huskies are arguably playing their best football they have all season long and hitting their stride right at the right time. They can't wait to take the stage on the center national stage against a worthy opponent like the Ohio State. They want to show their dominance, they want to get the win, and they want to show this country what Washington football is all about. Again, all goes down tomorrow on New Year's Day in the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena, California. Amazing. It'll be a great game, hopefully one for the books. David, Marnie.